Yeah, 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 yeah. I can read your mind and I know your story. I can see what you're going through. Yeah, it's an uphill climb and I'm feeling sorry. But I know it will come to you. Yeah, don't surrender. You can win in this thing called love. When you want it the most, there's no easy way out. When you're ready to go and your heart's left in doubt, don't give up on your hope. Love comes to those who believe it. And that's the way it is. That's the way it is. Oh, that's the way it is.
Yes, that's the way it is. The love comes to those who believe in it. It is what you believe in that you will attract. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Tuto Tango. My name is Flo, and today we'll be looking on the topic, are you in love? I am in love. This is the Valentine week, as everybody knows, and this is the month of love. We've said before, all this month we're going to be talking about love and love and love and love and how to improve on your relationship. Just like the song said, you don't need to give up. All you need is love. Are you in love? Yes, I am in love. Don't give up, don't give up, don't give up. Keep on going on. So what exactly are you supposed to be doing? So usually, one of these things that comes up at this time of the year or at one point in time in your life, you start to feel let down by the people that surrounds you. You start to feel let down by everyone that you are in contact with, especially when you are in a relationship. You feel let down all the time. Well, will you believe me if I say this feeling of letting down or disappointment isn't necessarily that you are in a wrong relationship or you are dealing with the wrong people? Will you believe that? Well, you better believe it, because I'm going to be explaining to you today what it all means. This disappointment actually, or this feeling of letting down actually can be a blessing. It can be an eye opener for you as well. How? You're asking me? Don't worry, I'm going to explain everything to you. Now, the first thing I need you to pay attention to is when you lack something, this is normal human nature. When we lack something, we tend to look for that thing in the people that are closest to us. And when we don't get it, we start to get angry. That's the first one. The things that you lack, you look for it in other people. When that person don't have it, you get angry. The second thing I want you to take take very good notice of, when you are used to negativity all your life, but you expect other people to be positive and they're negative as you feel let down. Don't forget, you attract what you want. So you are used to being negative. The other person that you see also are negative, but then you are expecting them not to be negative. And then when they are, you feel let down by them. The third thing, when you can't see anything good in you and in what you do, you start to believe that the other person that you are dealing with are not seeing anything good in you. It starts from you. You are the one feeling that you are not good at all. Now you expect the other person to actually have the same thing, to actually have the same mentality as yourself, that you are no good. The fourth thing I want you to think of is when you don't love yourself, you start to look for signs that are not there in the other person. When you don't love yourself, you start to come with this mentality and with this assumption and conclusion that the other person don't love you as well. Even when they tell you time after time, and the things that they say, the thing that they do shows that they love you. But because you don't have that self-love, because you're not in love with yourself, you start to believe that it is the same with this other person, that actually, how can they love somebody like you? They are only saying it just to make you feel good, or just to ridicule you, or just to make fun of you. Are we getting there a little bit now? Okay, are you trying to see where I'm coming from? So the eye opener is actually coming in now. So you're trying to think about it. Think about all those 4 points I've just said now. The first one, when you lack something, you look for it in other people that are close to you. When you don't get it, you get angry. The second thing, when you're used to negativity and you expect positivity from the other person and they're not giving it to you, you feel let down. The third one, when you can't see anything good in what you do, you start to believe that your partner or the other person cannot see anything good in you as well. When you are not in love with yourself, you start to believe no one in this world can love you. Most of the time, the problem is not about the relationship. The problem is not about the person. The problem is not about the world. It's not about the society. But the problem is just you. You just need to learn how to love yourself. You just need to learn how to start thinking about yourself in another way than you're thinking about yourself now. Nobody can give you that love that you lack. Nobody can give you that assurance. Nobody can lift your spirit. You are the only person that can do it. It is by the time you start doing it, you start loving yourself, you start showing it to other people that you love yourself. They can see it in the way that you care for yourself, the way you talk about yourself, the way you do things for yourself. They start to reciprocate. You are the only person that can start that. Are you in love with yourself? Have you done things to show other people you are in love? Now, most of us don't know we suffer self-love until you enter a relationship. It then stirs up your deepest needs and fears. So when these deepest needs and fears start, you start to crave self-love from your partner. You start to want them to start to give you that reassurance, to start to do the things that you cannot do for yourself. You start to expect it from them to do it. Then you become sensitive and you start to feel abandoned by them when they are not doing those things, thinking they have to give their love to you to make up for the lack of self-love that you don't have. Remember, it is called self-love for a reason. It is your love. It is your thing. It is your holding. You own it. No other person owns it. And if you're unable to have that self-love, it's going to be very difficult for another person to give you their own love and give you your love at the same time. It's not possible. It has to start from you. And when this does not happen, you start to nitpick. You start to see the things that are not there. You start to justify some stupid actions and decisions and assumptions that you are making about the other person, rather than admit that you lack that self-love. You start to overthink about the things that they say and they do to you as lack of love. But the thing is, you're only seeing yourself in the other person and you don't like what you are seeing. Rather than admit it to yourself, you start to put it back on the other person. It works both ways, don't get me wrong. If you are unfortunate enough to be in contact with another person that lacks self-love, it is a disaster. That's just it. It is a disaster. And you don't want that kind of a disaster to happen in your life at all. Now, this is how you know if the two of you are on the same boat, lacking self-love. If your partner tells you there's nothing they can do to satisfy you, it is because they are also operating from a lack of self-love, because what they don't have, they can't give to you. So they are projecting back on you, just the same way you are projecting back. So how will you know this? They have been embroiled in the same chronic pattern, usually something not good over the time. So they have this bad habit, or they are doing something that it has become habitual. Rather than admit that they have a problem, they put it back on you that you caused them to have that chronic and bad behavior. They might have some habits, usually promiscuous ones, to fill the void in their life. It is not for you to start cracking your brain, racking your brain, trying to find out how to help them. No, they have to help themselves first before you come in. They have to have that self-love first before you come in. If they lack that self-love, there is nothing you can do or say to fill in that void for them. They are the only people that can fill it for them. Lack of self-love is what makes most people have problem committing to a relationship. So they jump from one person to another, from another person to another, looking for the love that they lack in those people. And that's the reason why they cannot commit. They keep looking for what is not lost because they are lost themselves. Lack of self-love and sabotaging your relationship at times is because you believe you do not deserve love. Some people actually go out of their way to sabotage every relationship they have. So they know what the deal breaker is for that person, and that is exactly what they will be committing to be doing all the time, so that they can turn around and say, I tried my best, but the other person was the one who did this and who did that. It's still talking about lack of self-love. Now, once that happens, the next thing is, don't forget they're sabotaging the relationship. If you also lack self-love, both of you will start sabotaging the relationship from whatever angle that you are bringing it for. The next thing is, you both leave the relationship. It isn't until you start to learn how to love yourself that you can start to feel satisfied within yourself and within your relationship. This realization needs to come to you by yourself. You need to sit down, think about it by yourself. Look at how your life has been. How many relationships have you had over the past year, 10 years? Even those that say they are in a committed relationship, they always have this chronic pattern that is always sabotaging that relationship. The other person might decide, you know what, I ain't gonna leave, I'm just gonna stick to it. But because of the lack of self-love that you have, you keep on doing this behavior over and over again, just to let that person get to that breaking point. So what you are doing is you are pushing your lack of self-love into that person to start to doubt themselves and their own self-love as well. If this is the kind of a person that doesn't have a strong personality, that are negative and not positive, that are not optimistic person, they will start to feed off your lack of self-love. When you take care of yourself and you start to learn how to love yourself, you will realize that whatever problem that you have in your relationship will magically disappear. There's no magic wand anywhere. This is not like, oh, it's a miracle that we're talking about here. It starts from you being willing to release yourself from whatever captivity that you have put yourself that is making you not to love yourself. As soon as you release yourself from it, as soon as you start to love yourself, the other person and a lot of people will start to see it. And they will start to relate to you the same way you are relating with yourself. No matter what relationship problem you have or experiencing, the number one thing that you can do to solve it is to start to learn to love yourself. You cannot give what you don't have. Are you in love with yourself? I am in love with myself. Have a sit down. Think about it. Use this period, the Valentine period, the month of love, to think about it. The things that you are doing, how you are sabotaging yourself every now and then, who because you lack that self-love. And as soon as you start to learn, I'm telling you, it will be like a magic. It will be like a miracle how you will start to succeed in the things that you do. It is also your lack of self-love that make you to think everybody is against you. No, you just need to start to love yourself again. This is where I'm going to end it today. I will see you again next week, 7 p.m. UK time, 6:30 p.m. Nigerian time. Don't forget, Tutor Tango is every Saturday for now. If we have to change it from Saturday to another day of the week, I am very much going to let you know about it. It was the technical problem that made us not to broadcast yesterday, but don't worry, we're back again next week, Saturday. Enjoy tomorrow, which is Valentine's Day, whichever way you can enjoy it, and enjoy the rest of the week as well. I will see you later. Love you guys. Bye-bye.